Hi, welcome to Storytime with Gigi. Today we're going to be reading Little People Big Dreams story about Hans Christian Andersen. This was written by Maria Isabel Sanchez Vigara and illustrated by Maxine Lee Mackey. He wrote a lot of children's books. Little Hans was born in a small town in the Kingdom of Denmark. His family was very poor and could barely afford a roof over their heads, but they had one precious jewel that they kept carefully in a cupboard: a book. Flying carpets, Arabian princesses, genies coming out of lamps. Every night Hans would listen to his father's readings, and once he fell asleep, all he dreamed of was being the hero of these wonderful fairy tales. He was eager to learn how to read and went to school for some time, but when his father passed away, Hans had to quit and take a job as a weaver's apprentice. It was not the exciting life that he had imagined. Still, one of his favorite hobbies was getting lost in the streets looking for puppeteers. Watching them was his greatest joy. He would memorize each word and gesture and repeat it later for his only audience, his mom. Willing to make a living as an artist, Hans jumped on a carriage to Copenhagen, the big city, where he joined the Royal Danish Theatre. Hans tried everything: acting, singing, dancing, but all he got was a role as a troll. Locked in his tiny room, waiting for someone to offer him another role, Hans spent his free time writing. One day, he showed one of his stories to the theater director. It was full of misspellings, but he found it just delightful. Hans didn't earn any money from that first story, but something better: a chance to go back to school and learn to write Danish properly. He was the oldest student in his class, but he knew it's never too late if you really want to learn. After graduating, Hans felt confident enough to write whatever came into his mind, from a sad poem about a candle that no one loved to the fantastic travelogues of a man who even met talking cats. He was making a living as an author when he met a charming young woman named Reborg. Hans fell deeply in love and was about to tell her when he got some terrible news. Reborg was getting married to another man. Oh. Instead of hiding his feelings, Hans decided to put them down on paper and wrote some of the most beautiful fairy tales. They were stories of mermaids falling in love with princes, and ducklings dreaming of becoming swans. His tales became so popular that every night kids all over Europe read them. But they were not just the children's favorites. Grown-ups loved them too. And they all kept Hans's books like treasures, just like he used to do. The stories lived forever, but not only in books, but in plays, ballets, and movies. But Hans's highest honor was that every 2nd of April, the day of his birthday, kids all over the world now celebrate Children's Book Day. By never hiding his feelings and letting his imagination fly, little Hans got what he had longed for: being loved. Not just by one single person, but by entire generations. Generations of children who now know there is a swan inside each of us. There he is. Hans Christian Andersen. He wrote the original story of The Ugly Duckling, The Little Mermaid, The Princess and the Pea. All classics that we love. And that's our story. I hope you liked it. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye until next time.